This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle-Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on the Podomatic.com, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else we find its fine audio recording it live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. I believe I should mention that we are on iHeartRadio as well, the iHeartRadio app, via Podomatic.
Does anyone use iHeart anymore?
I know my dad does. I do know certain. I know Salamonster and JD from New York have iHeart or have distribution through iHeartRadio, which is why they're putting podcasts on the fucking thing. Because please, we're radio too. I mean, podcasts. Fuck that. There goes our attention.
Well, the people who own iHeart do own some radio stations.
To be fair, it was there. It's available. I clicked OK, and they went OK.
So who are you?
My name is Matty J. That is TWK.
And this is a can of Pepsi Soda Shop Black Cherry Cola, courtesy of my buddy at work, Randy, coworker Randy, coming through again. And he informed me today he got himself a ticket to Dynamite.
Ooh! Tell him he has excellent taste in professional wrestling.
Yep. Yep. Whole bunch
and you are not alone in the Pepsi drinking, although I am much jelly on the Soda Shop Wild Cherry Pepsi. I miss me a good Wild Cherry Pepsi, but
this isn't Wild Cherry. This is Black Cherry. This is the first time I'm trying this too, so this is going to be a blind taste test right here, I guess one could say. So let's take a look, see how it is.
Well, while you do that, I'll explain that SodaStream has Pepsi syrup available in Canada finally, and the package came in today. I hold in my hand the first bottle I produced of SodaStream Pepsi. It is half empty. It is that good. It's Pepsi.
And thank you, Renico. Yes, Randy is the soda man. He's given me a lot of cans of soda over the past year. Huge props to him. Such a generous person. And Empty Commissioner says he prefers his Pepsi unflavored, so teach their own.
No shame there. I like regular. Personally, I'm a Pepsi man more than a Coca-Cola man.
And Enigma's not a fan of SodaStream. Yeah,
it's not, like I said. It tastes like Pepsi if you put it through a SodaStream machine, which explains the aftertaste. There is an aftertaste to it. I'm not a fan, but it does taste like Pepsi. I will say this though, when it comes to cola, SodaStream are not the best. Except for the Black Cherry Cola. I think the Black Cherry Cola is my personal preference. They have the bubbly drops for sparkling water, the fizzy water. I drink those more than I do anything else.
So just saying is you had a bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, indeed I did. Indeed I did, yes. I did. I totally did. Yep. But then not a little bit of the bubbly. No. I drink like literal bottles of the shit every week. I am thirsty and I'm trying to cut back the soda consumption, so to speak. And it don't hurt. It's just a little bit of flavoring. It's just water at that point. You just fizz it up and drink it to the gallon at that point.
Cool, and Devin is also a fan of Black Cherry. Nice. Anyways, I do believe we have some grapple stuffs to talk about.
Black Cherry Cola, I should surmise there. But you mentioned we have wrestling. We have wrestling to talk to, and ladies and gentlemen, When JD from New York says Crown Jewel was good, you tend to go, okay, now I'm curious. But we'll talk. But I know T-Dub will never watch it because Saturday Blood Money will always suck, and I don't blame him. And he is usually correct.
I don't have all the morals in the world, but this is one that I'm going to stick to. I have to stick to something.
You and Sami Zayn both, and I don't blame you. But me being the wrestling journalist that I try to be, I felt, okay, if JD says it was good, I got to watch it. I'll have my 2 cents on the situation. And honestly, Crown Jewel was just boring. Believe it or not, that's the bar that's a case of that's why it was good. It was not shit. But we'll get to that. We have Bound for Glory coming up tomorrow. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Dynamite that happened after our show aired. So, yay. Speaking of, we got a clip of the week. We got our winners and losers, and Shintigercurl is not here, taking a break for his own sanity. And we appreciate his chance to take a break. We don't blame him. We hope he'll be back soon. That being said, I think we have a clip of the week situation to take care of. So we will take care of it by saying, ladies and gentlemen, Hangman Page, take a listen.
In 2019, my friends and I, we left our home in Ring of Honor. We left our home in New Japan to start All Elite Wrestling. And I was excited then because I believed in our vision. I believed we could and I believed we would change the world. But it feels like the world changed us. I mean, it changed me. I told all of you on literal day one that I would be the first AEW World Champion, and I failed. I lost to Jericho, I lost to Pac, and then it felt like I started to lose a hell of a lot more. I lost my confidence. I lost my friends, and truthfully, I lost myself. But the one thing that it felt like, for whatever reason, that I never seemed to lose, the one thing that grew week after week, that got just a little bit louder, was these people chanting cowboy shit. And to me, that's very real. Because cowboy shit was taking my shot on day one and telling you I'd be champion. Cowboy shit was winning the tag team titles with Kenny and defending them every chance that we got. Cowboy shit was learning to let the past live in the past and accept new friends into my life. And cowboy shit was taking my chance and putting it on the line to stick my neck out for those friends who stuck their necks out for me so many times. And cowboy shit was having the balls in the middle of the hottest run of my career to turn around and go back home to be there for the birth of a beautiful baby boy. That's cowboy shit. So last week I finally picked up the phone. I put my body on the line. I climbed the ladder to grab the chip, to grab the shot at the one thing that's eluded me all this time. And to me, that's the thing. That's the thing. When you fall off, you get back up, you get back on the horse, you keep riding, blazing on ahead, because to me, that is cowboy shit. Now, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not going to predict how Full Gear will end for me. But despite that brutal honesty, I feel like you all still believe in me. And for the first time in my life, I do too. So the promise I can make is that at Full Gear, I will give you everything. I will give you my heart. I will give you my soul. I will give you every fiber of my being. I will give you my blood. I will give you my sweat. And one way or the other, I feel like I may give you my tears. The one thing, though, that I am 100% sure about is that at Full Gear, I will give you cowboy shit.
There you have it. There's still that hesitancy of saying, there's you could sense that hesitancy of, I don't want to talk about it, but he realizes, yeah, I got a shot and I want to do it.
Cowboy shiznit.
Bull person poop. Or something like that. That being said, that was a great dynamite. We'll be discussing that in a few short minutes, of course. That being said, now I mentioned at the beginning of the program, of the program, because I am a professional. JD from New York was talking about the actual shit that is WWE in 2021, and he was talking about Crown Jewel and Saturday Blood Money 10. Why are you guys fucking back for more? Let's be honest. A lot of people are saying it was eh. I personally thought it was eh. But when JD from New York said this was WWE's best put effort, I felt I needed to actually watch it. Now, I know T-Dub will not watch it because T-Dub is very many things when it comes to his promises. This is one of them. Fuck the Saudi Arabia. I mean, that is unless you plan to go to Saudi Arabia in your lifetime, and I do believe the answer is no to that particular query. Unless I'm wrong, of course. You may speak. You're allowed to speak. This is as much your show as mine.
I don't have anything to say about the Saudi show except don't like the government, don't like the fact that the government is paying WWE for these shows, and that's not it.
And that's fair enough. And you know what? You and I are on the same boat. We smell the bullshit. We acknowledge that it is bullshit. We admonish it, but there's still a bunch of people. They paid their ticket to watch a professional wrestling thing, and turns out they were delivered WWE. And usually, that would give you the general apathy. But actually, the fact that there wasn't an extra pay-per-view in October, and this was like the actual pay-per-view, and apparently the stars, most of them anyway, decide to show up. Now, I'm not going to go through the full review here. You folks know the results here. And a lot of people are saying, Enigma in the chat even said it himself, that it was meh. And it was. But so was SummerSlam, and let's be honest, so was most of WrestleMania. Now I'm not going to give it the same hyperbole that JD gave it. This was probably, was this WWE's best effort? Yeah. But WrestleMania was pretty good too. At least night one was. Edge and Seth Rollins had match of the night. Had a great Hell in a Cell. If I were to say, if I had a nitpick, I would say, the amount of violence that was going on in the build-up, in the build to the finish, you would think, man, I don't want to be as barbaric as asking for blood, but if there was a match that probably needed a little bit of a blade in there, if you know what I mean, that match probably could have excused it. Let's see, Mansoor is making his scheduled paid appearance in Saudi Arabia, despite the fact that he's actually good and could wrestle on 205 Live, but he won't because apparently outside the Saudi Arabia contract, he don't fucking exist. Zelina Vega is the queen of the ring. She won the Queen's Crown in 5:55, which believe it or not, hang your head in shame, folks. Bruce Pritchard is still in charge. 5:55. Yeah, that was still a shit show. Goldberg and Lashley was a match. And some of you are going, well, what? And the rest of us are going, holy shit, Goldberg had a match? And no one got hurt? Badly? Right. They went 11:25, and Goldberg had a wicked spear off the stage to finish the match, which no one fucking died. So that's a bar it was reached. Xavier Woods defeated Finn Balor to become the king of the ring and prove that WWE, at least for 1 week or at least a couple of days, they are not fucking cowards. And if you don't even need to watch the pay-per-view, you can watch the YouTube video of him putting the crown on, sitting on the throne, and being basically crowning himself and being serenaded. All hail King Xavier. You could tell the genuine happiness of that accomplishment in his face. He wanted it. He got it. That is a man that was, despite the fact that the whole thing was put together to give the Saudi Arabia something to say, yay! So, bullshit. Xavier Woods got to be king of the ring. And he's happy in his head place. Big E defeated Drew McIntyre in a hoss fight. And that was a hoss fight, all right. Becky Lynch retained her match in a triple threat 1925, and the crowd was not there. They were there most of the night. They were there for the Hell in a Cell match. They were there for a lot of the matches. A lot of the women's matches, there was a lot of crowd apathy, unfortunately. So basically the crowd was there and it was not. And then in the main event, Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar in 15-20 to retain the Universal Championship. It was a beautiful finish angle where both men are down. Paul's holding the belt, slides it in the ring. You know what to do! And he's not even looking at anybody. He just throws the belt in there and says, go, do it. And Roman eventually won. So more chips and more chinks in the armor for the bloodline, but clever finish. I believe it was Enigma who asked what was more disappointing, the finish to the main event of Crown Jewel or the G1 climax.
We'll talk about that.
Oh, I'd say G1, but I would say if you want to seek out this card and don't even care about the political shenanigans, just want to watch wrestling. Obviously, from 2021, I'd say Mania, SummerSlam, and I'd say this is a solid third choice. Take away the context of where they are and the contract and all the BS. You just want to watch them wrestling. You could have done much worse than to watch this, or at the very least, the Hell in a Cell match, which occurred during your lunch break. I know it did on my end. I actually watched the Hell in a Cell match live, and I thought, my only nitpick is that violence deserved a little bit of accidental blood. But that's a nitpick. There you go. All right. So I'm not going to give it a rating because Saudi Arabia don't deserve no goddamn rating. But we need wrestling to talk about. And it have been brought up. The G1 Climax final happened. I believe that is on the list somewhere.
Yes, the G1 is on here. Two notes from the G1. First off, we have Zack Sabre Jr. versus a surprise opponent, a match that was not announced. Zack Sabre Jr. just walked out wearing his usual entrance jacket. And
first off, I think we need to bring the context. They're at the Nippon Budo. They're at the Budokan, and it's half empty because they're still in the process of getting people, vaccinated. So they actually put a shitload of asses in those seats. Surprisingly loud for the crowd, to be fair. Card was box standard. They come back from break, and out comes Zack Sabre Jr. And the announcers, Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton, they're at ringside. And no one knows. This is unannounced. This is a special attraction, as the announcers say. And as you mentioned, Zack Sabre Jr., and he's in his trunks, in MMA-style trunks, boots and all that stuff. And
he just goes to stand in the corner.
Yep.
And that's at the point where the commentator is like, oh, we thought he was going to come over here or do some sort of promo. So they're now super confused.
He's stretching. He's stretching. He's doing the thing, and don't jinx it. We're getting there, Enigma. Getting there. And all of a sudden, Katsuyori Shibata's music hits.
Huge reaction from the crowd.
If it was a full building, the roof would have flown off. That's how loud it was. The announcers are going, wait, what the fuck? And out comes Katsuyori Shibata in black MMA trunks, boots and all that stuff. And he's walking, and he's got the hairdo of someone who's about to fight, like full on Katsuyori Shibata, the haircut of the haircut you would have before you would fight. And then the announcer says this is a special UWF rules 5-minute exhibition.
Which basically means that it's going to be grappling only.
Yeah, no pinfall, no submission. This is just 5 minutes of grappling. And people, and we may be underselling it. Maybe, I don't know. We could be accused of that sometimes. Katsuyori Shibata fucking wrestled for 5 minutes! This is a man whose last match before this, he headbutted himself almost to death fighting fighting Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, not the World Belt, the good belt.
Yeah, like
back in 2017, he almost fucking died, and people said, okay, his career, he's alive, but his career is fucking done.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, his skull was, he headbutted Okada so badly that his skull was fractured and liquid.
He headbutted Okada so hard he broke his skull open,
and liquid was literally leaking into his brain. Which,
like the blood splitting, and it was both ways. Go ahead.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, that's not supposed to. You're not supposed to mix the liquids in the brain and the outer skull. Those liquids aren't supposed to mix.
Yeah, that's bad. Split your skull open, quite literally, usually bad.
Yeah, and from what I remember, he got to the hospital just in time to be saved.
That's how close it was. And we're not yet, for people who weren't here when it initially happened, that was the scare. He flopped backstage and was literally carted to the hospital. 2 more minutes, or a different era, and he would have been an unfortunate casualty. So the fact that he's wrestling 5 minutes with Zack Sabre Jr., and then after those 5 minutes, they shake hands, they go, 5 more minutes, crowd goes 5 more minutes, the announcers want 5 more minutes, I want 5 fucking minutes more. He picks up the mic, and loosely translated, he goes, the next time in this ring, it's in the match.
No, what he said was, next time I'm in this ring, I'll be in my gear.
That's why I said loosely transitioned, loosely translated.
Yeah, I got my
translation. The implication is the next time he steps into an NJPW ring, he's fucking wrestling. He is professional wrestling, a professional wrestling match.
And the internet blew up.
You blew up. I blew up. Hairball posted the link and wait, what? I clicked the link. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm glad I watched it before Hairball spoiled it.
Well, I'm not, but it was one of those things where I'm like, I did not catch the G1 this year. I'm not that interested. I might watch it for the main event to see what's up. I have been told, I've been spoiled who were in the final. So I'm like, I was not spoiled the result until much later. Well, actually, I was. And that leads us into the second part.
Yeah, I actually watched this show, these 2 matches blind. So I watched the Shibata match blind, and then the main event match blind, and that It was going so well. Going so well. I was like, yep, we're getting hyped. We're getting going. And then
I read by a ref stoppage, and I'm like, ooh, shit.
Yeah, I did not.
I'm like, at first, I'm like, oh, fuck, that's, Jesus, that's not how you want to see it. And then you watch the match, and you watch the spot, the final spot, which was Kota Ibushi. He's in control. He goes to the top rope, goes for a Phoenix Splash, which 9 times out of 10, 9,099 times out of 1,000, he hits or he doesn't hit, and it's clean. No one gets hurt, and he just sells and then on to the next spot. He lands, and from the angle at first I thought, oh no, because the way his head bounced off the mat, I'm like, oh fuck, he's got a concussion. Fuck. And at first I go, if that was the stoppage, I'm like, okay, fair play. Don't fuck around with people getting knocked the fuck out on the ring. That's fair. And Red Shoes, he's talking, he's shaking, and then he goes under the way he's Ibushi's, he's prone in a position of he's trying to hold himself on the head. There's a space, and he's holding his arm or something. Red Shoes goes to check. Oh fuck! Ring, 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 ding, 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 done. Okada's the winner. Kevin Kelly believes Kota broke his arm or broke his elbow. Basically, Kota pulled it, and eventually it is discovered he dislocated his shoulder. Essentially, Kota pulled the 2000s Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, which means he's going to be out for a few months.
And for those who don't know the reference, it was a frog splash on the SmackDown debut, and it foobarred Eddie's elbow. By complete accident, by the way. It was not intended. It was just bad luck.
Yeah, much like Kota Ibushi, Eddie Guerrero must hit that frog splash 1,000 times, but just that one time it went wrong.
Just a one time, didn't expect it, and there's friends who tell me, no, this guy's cursed. No, New Japan's fucking cursed this year. Like, and people, though they're not that cursed, will say, no, they're fucking cursed.
Let's see. Naito is injured, possibly out of Wrestle Kingdom. Ibushi is injured, possibly out of Wrestle Kingdom. Will Ospreay got injured for a while. The fact that he came back as quick as he did is a miracle. And, like, you wrap your... New Japan better wrap all their stars in bubble wrap until the fucking Wrestle Kingdom.
Right now, Okada had that look of, oh, fuck, I'm not supposed to win. Or, oh, this is not the finish. He had that look of, that's a fuck up. If Steve Dangle were watching this, were a professional wrestling fan, he would call that a dang it.
And CJ says, since the belt merger, New Japan's been cursed. You're starting to look that way.
Dude, I've been calling it ever since, because Kota lost the belt due to injury. It then went to...
No, he didn't lose the belt due to injury. He lost it to Ospreay.
He lost it to Ospreay, and then Ospreay had to let it go due to injury. Shingo got it for a while.
And he's still the champion.
And then now, you know, fuck. And Enigma says, bring in Jericho, No.
Are you afraid they're going to get cursed too by association?
We do not need to lose Bryan Danielson or Chris Jericho or even, well, maybe Kenny Omega. He's done enough, and he deserves a break. But still, keep him in the cocoon on his AEW and wrap AEW in bubble wrap, for God's sakes.
The New Japan guys need to be wrapped in bubble wrap by how cursed they are. Like, what is going on with this company?
And people won't say they're not cursed. No, they are fucking cursed. You cannot change my mind. They are fucking cursed.
Who did Gato piss on?
What? How angry are the wrestling gods at a belt?
And Gut says, send Hook!
For an excursion? Maybe. I would not be opposed.
Yeah, make Hook a Suzuki Gun young boy.
Ooh. Are you sure he would survive?
He's the son of Taz. Of course he would.
I mean, fair, but again, are you sure he would survive? I mean, this is Minoru Suzuki we're talking about here.
You know it's not surviving? NXT Takeovers?
No, there's the Halloween Havoc TV special, and no takeovers have been scheduled as of late. Anything that would happen in November, done.
Yeah, as far as the latest, I saw Cold Talk post on their news site that no NXT takeovers are scheduled for the rest of the year. None. Which means no War Games.
I got nothing, folks. This is we've been saying it for months now. NXT is dead.
Triple H spent decades trying to bring this concept back. He finally does.
He spent a decade, and he spent decades to get the concept back. He spent a decade trying to build up the thing, and Bruce Pritchard doesn't like the fact that Triple H is running things. And here we are, NXT 2.0. Tommaso Ciampa is going to be the last vestige of the old NXT about to fucking die because, you know, I like Rex Steiner, but no. Renico, we've been pressing F for too long. Is it time to press F? Yes. His name is NXT Cause of Death. Khan! You are surprisingly quiet, by the way.
Just don't have much to say other than, yeah, it's kind of sad that there's going to be no more War Games. Well, at least AEW's got blood and guts, so we have that to look forward to.
Yeah, pretty much.
You have that. We have GCW. They do their War Games. MLW has done War Games from time to time, so we got War Games.
MLW still does it. GCW does it with Nick Gage coming into Metallica's For Whom the Bell Tolls, and I'm like, yes.
So yeah, there's War Games outside WWE, but it's a shame that with all the talent that WWE has, and the fact they could do War Games if they wanted to, because
the other crazy part, the NXT style War Games is not a bad War Games on paper. It works.
It does. It was good. Why? This company sometimes.
It works, and I'm with you. I don't get it. I flat dumb don't get it.
The only rationale in my mind could be these wrestlers are too green for War Games.
That'd be like the one thing, the one nitpick, yeah.
Like that's the only thing. That's the only rationale I come up. That's the only logical reason in my mind is like, all these wrestlers that they're bringing up to NXT television, they're all way too green. They'd all get hurt. Gotta have professionals for that. Veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, speaking of professionals, PWI released their Women's 150, and here's the top 10.
Go right ahead, read it.
Oh, I thought you were going to play some Letterman music.
You want me to? I done goofed. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I just realized I goof.
And you're the Letterman guy.
I just. Hey, look! I thought we were just going to discuss it like we usually do without the pomp and circumstance. If I could fucking get a word in with my fucking porky pig mouth, Jesus. Do we do the open or not the open? Just the drums?
Just hit the drums, good sir.
All right, here we go. Number 10. Yeah.
Number 10, NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez.
Ooh, okay, and she's had a good year, to be fair.
Number 9, from Stardom, Tom Nakano.
No surprise there. Top Joshi promotion. Makes sense.
Number 8, NXT Women's Tag Team Champion Io Shirai.
The fact that she made the top 10 is no surprise.
Next, from Stardom, Sayuri.
Same opinion as the first one from Stardom. No shock there.
Number 6, Sasha Banks.
She had a good year. Some stop and start. So the fact that she's off the top 5, no surprise, but work speaks for itself.
Number 5, from All Elite Wrestling, Thunder Rosa.
From NWA to All Elite, she had a hell of a year. Some great matches, some banger of matches, dude.
And number 4, the AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD!
Number 4, huh? All right.
Number 3, the Impact Knockouts Champion, Deonna Purrazzo.
In fairness, I think both are interchangeable. You put them in either spot, fair.
Number 2, from Stardom, Utami Hayashida.
I did watch a couple of her matches. Not surprised that she's cracked the top 3.
And number 1, she is the EST of PWI, Bianca Belair.
There we go. Believe me, sorry if we stop the music and I just say, well deserved for Bianca Belair. Banner year for her.
Yeah, she's had one hell of a year, some ups, some downs, but hey, she got enough wins to be number 1.
I believe it is win-loss record, the quality of opposition, and there's a few other things. But yeah, you look at that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Well deserved, absolutely well deserved. No shame in it. Though I would have placed Dr. Britt in the top 3, but she's earned top 5 status for sure.
Indeed, I think the reason Deonna Purrazzo got above Britt Baker is because Deonna's had a longer winning streak.
Which could explain it.
And
now,
a longer championship run. She's been champion for almost a year.
And Dr. Britt has not had that year yet, but which is, I think that if that's a tiebreaker, fair. And by the way, so wait, Charlotte wasn't in top 10. I'm willing to bet she's in the top 15, top 20.
Well, she did miss a lot of time.
She missed a lot of time, had a lot of plastic surgery. For God's sake, stop fixing your face. It was nice before you joined. Jesus.
Hey, maybe that's...
she looks like Cher. And not the young Cher. Plastic surgery Cher.
Hey, Cher's still a queen. Don't knock Cher.
I'm not knocking Cher. I'm just saying Charlotte looks like Cher, and she's not supposed to look like Cher.
Love after love after love.
You know she has more songs than just Love
Do you
Believe,
believe
right?
in love after love?
I'm not even going to try. He's fishing for a Dave. He's trying to force a Dave at this point.
One thing that was not forced was the quality of the wrestling guy from AEW last week. We got, first up, Bobby Fish defeating Lee Moriarty and Hell in a Hell of a match, and afterwards, it was officially announced that Lee Moriarty is all elite.
Good for him.
And we also had, of course, in the main event of the YouTubes, Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki. Goddamn, son.
Rampage, buy-in, Jesus Christ. They almost did the right thing by putting it on YouTube and starting it as early as they did, just to give them enough time to brief, because Jesus Christ. If they're going to do it for a match on YouTube in front of a hot crowd like that, what the fuck are they going to do on TV? Or even worse, what the fuck are they going to do to each other in New Japan?
At that point, the gloves will be off.
They were on Rampage? Like
yes. Yes.
The internet is not ready for the gloves to come off in that case.
And on the staying on terms of not being ready, Dante Martin was not ready for Malachi Black.
Nope. Not at all.
He had some few good moments, held his own, but in the end, Malachi Black just kicked his head off like he does everybody else.
Malachi gave him some offense to make himself look good, but beyond that, bing! Oh, there it is. Yep. Third row. Not a home run, but enough to win the game.
And someone who wants to win the game in the third match between the two is Cody Rhodes, who got the shit beat out of him by his students.
Where was this Arn Anderson? Jesus. Can we let Arn cut more Glock Anderson promos? Like, I missed that pissed off Arn Anderson.
Armed Anderson.
Who cares? Double A. It's still Double A, damn it.
Yeah, he just took Cody to the training school and just let all the kids just beat the shit out of him at once. Just everybody.
Literally beat the piss out of him.
It was a good time.
Yes.
And I can't remember. Is Cody versus Malachi Black 3? Is this Saturday or is
it is this coming Saturday? Tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Tomorrow night.
Yep.
On TNT.
Yipper.
Movie. We also had an Inner Circle promo where they were all reunited, and then Men of the Year in America's Top Team came out to talk their trash, and we're going to see Inner Circle versus Men of the Year in America Top Team, but there's going to be a special stipulation. What will that be? We'll have to wait until tomorrow to find out.
Pretty much. Dan Lambert, absolute professional on the mic, keeps talking despite the fact that Miami does not love Dan Lambert at all.
Despite it being their hometown. And usually,
oh my God.
Usually the hometown hero, no matter how much of a heel they are, gets cheered. Not Dan Lambert.
Jesus. If, like, right now it's pretty much MJF at the top spot for heel of the year. Dan Lambert, it all depends if he sticks around after this run, but if he does, he might actually be in the running for manager of the year.
It's a possibility at this point. He's making a good case for himself.
He in the few short weeks he's had, Jesus H tap dancing Christ. Old man yells at cloud promos. Heat seekers. Ooh.
Speaking of Heat Seekers, Las Super Ranas defeated Lucha Brothers for the AAA Tag Team Championships.
We probably should correct that because they started as the Frog Tag Team.
Las Super Ranas.
No, it's FTR. It's FTR. You know, it's crazy. I'm on the call, right? And I'm looking at them. They look a little portly. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Frog Tag Teams, go a little old school dig at Mass Tag Team Jobbers. I'm like, all right, fair enough. And they have a shot of the Frog Tag Team, and I'm not going to try to spell that. I know it's loosely translated as the Frogs, so I'm just, or the Leaping
Super
Frog.
Ranas.
Frog Tag Team, Super Rana, whatever. Leaping Frogs, Frog Tag Team. Look. They're not a real tag team. Why should I bother trying to spell it?
Not a real tag team. They're the new AAA Tag Team Champions. What are you talking about?
FTR. They literally start you look from a shot and then there's a tuft of hair and I'm like, what is that, Cash Wheeler? And I'm like, okay, whatever. And of course, the Lucha Brothers, they start working the masks off. And there's a hubbub about Lucha rules. Turns out it's under AEW rules, so they're allowed to rip off the mask. They rip off the mask. And it's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler FT goddamn R.
My feed was pixelated.
Dave! It wasn't that goddamn pixelated for 5 fucking minutes.
I'm not sure what kind of weird pornography you're into, but if you want to see that kind of stuff, there's internet sites.
Dave! It's FTR. It was clearly FTR. Stop. Kayfabe. If this was Skype, I would have hung up on you.
And Gut says, that's Frog Time Revolution.
Don't encourage him. God damn it. Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, FTR, freaking Tully Blanchard showed up. They're the tag team champ. They're the AAA Tag Team Champions. It's FTR.
I was told that Tully.
They were acknowledged. They were acknowledged at the end of the match when they won. They were acknowledged as such. FTR.
Yeah, fear the Ranas.
A moment, please.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
Moving on.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Moving on to backstage, Leo Rush makes Dante Martin his new tag team partner, which could create some tension once Darius Martin returns.
Yep.
So very interesting to see where that goes. And speaking of interesting, but also very quick, Mox squashes Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, there's not like I was like, ooh, Mox versus Wheeler Yuta. This is gonna be fun. Nope. This was a fucking squash.
Yeah,
it
Mox
wasn't
came
even
out
close.
Yeah, Mox came out to the ring. He was looking pissed off because he lost last week. And he took out all his frustration on Yuta, and Orange Cassidy did not look too pleased by this.
Nope. Not at all. He walked in, beat the shit out of Wheeler Yuta, paradigm shift, 1, 2, 3, and he fucking left.
So yeah, I'm very glad to not be Wheeler Yuta in that instance.
No, yeah, I know, right? Kent says I blames you.
We also had a pretty nice heel D promo where she explained why she turned heel because, of course, she was feeling a bit overlooked there by them already having a trophy for Shida and all that snazzy jazzy stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, can you blame her? I'm like, I got nothing else to add to it. It's Shida versus Deeb, and they're gonna make that win actually feel like a fucking win. Which, yay, good idea.
And of course, after Deeb was on Talk Air Trash, Shida came out of nowhere, and they started to have fights.
I'm not doing the Joey Styles cat fight thing. No.
No. Then we had the Super Click defeating Uno, Silver, and Reynolds, and this was one hell of a 6-man tag.
That was a fun 6-man. This spot, good lord, the Super Click spot where it's Adam Cole and the Cobra Clutch. And the Bucks do their thing, and then kiss on the cheek, super kick. Nope. Reynolds and Johnny Hungy kiss, and Cole. Oh, what the fuck? You fucking ruined it. Fuck.
My favorite moment though was Silver looking at Adam Cole and just going, "Budge."
Yeah.
In the end, though, Super Click were able to win. Although Dark Order did look pretty nice in this matchup. It looked very competitive, very nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see, we also had Britt Baker getting in a fight backstage with Anna Jay, so it looks like they're going to be hyping up that match next.
Mm-hmm. I believe they're fighting on Rampage tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, should be one hell of a contest.
Yep.
And speaking of one hell of a contest, Penelope Ford defeated Kiera Hogan. And during the match commentary, CM Punk was like, I know we haven't mentioned yet, but Kiera Hogan, any relation? And then next album started listing off every Hogan that wasn't Hulk.
Yeah, basically Paul Hogan. Something Hogan. It's like...
He started going off on a roll, and Shivani had to stop them.
Yeah, he did. Back on the match, it's like, but Punk had the perfect. Because T-Dub and I know there's no relation, but what about the people who just watch AEW and don't watch Impact? He was asking the relevant question at this point.
Nevertheless, Penelope Ford picked up the win against Kiera Hogan, and then Ruby attacked Penelope Ford afterwards because on the Rampage the night before, Penelope Ford knocked Ruby out with a pair of brass knucks. So it looks like they're continuing that feud there. So there should be some more good stuff in that women's division.
Hey, there's enough veteran presence that at this point you could build at least 2 or 3 feuds to build the more women. This is a good.
Of course, we already discussed the Hangman promo, which was excellent. Don't think we need to say much more of that, more there, because once again, awesome promo, hit all the points it needed to hit, and gets the crowd hyped up for the world title match. Can't wait.
You heard the promo at the clip of the week in the beginning, folks. No hyperbole needed on that one.
And in the main event, we had Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. Just awesome, rad, super cool. All the good adjectives you want to use for this match. Excellent stuff.
Pretty much.
And then we had, right before the show went up there, they revealed the World Title Eliminator Tournaments. Here are the matches. Mm-hmm. In the first round, we're going to have 10 versus Mox, Cassidy versus Hobbs, Dustin Rhodes versus Bryan Danielson, and Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, you almost said Brody Lee, but it's Eddie Kingston. This should be a field of 16, to be fair. There's a lot of people being left off here.
Possibly, but you only got so much time to build until Full Gear from this point forward.
Yeah, because this ends at Full Gear with the number one contender title, the number one contendership, and obviously Hangman versus Omega as the main. So there's that.
I think the finals, looking at this, I'm thinking Danielson and Mox, maybe?
Danielson, Mox. Renico says Mox versus OC. He's calling. No, it's Mox versus Danielson. I think at that point would be a solid final. By the way,
Either that or Mox versus Kingston if they really want to add some drama to it.
That's one way. It could be a case of they both shake hands and then it's all out war for 30 minutes.
And some people are suggesting that maybe Mox loses at Full Gear and that causes him to turn heel afterwards.
He'd have the perfect partner to go evil with Eddie.
That he would. And the last time we saw heel Mox was in WWE, and that was not a good heel run.
No, the intention was to have a heel run of epic proportions, and this is the Fed, and even they fucked up that up, so, yep.
And tonight we're going to learn the brackets for the TBS tournaments to decide that championship, so I can't wait for that.
I mean, at this point, for the AEW World Title, the number one contendership, you can make arguments that they're swap a few names in there to make it better. But this one, for the TBS title, anyone who hasn't had a significant role or anyone that you would think would deserve it, I would see a Layla Hirsch in there. Jade Cargill probably a good spot, but if it might be a case if if you want to make her lose for the first time, it's got to be on someone who will win the tournament at that point.
Maybe she loses in the finals.
That would be my guess, yeah.
Let's see, the last bit of news here is concerning Retro Mania Wrestling. They showed off the next arena for their DLC. It's going to be the Retropalooza Arena. Which is pretty much the Too Many Games Arena, but just with a different coat of paint on it.
Pretty much.
Still features the CU podcast, but a few other internet peoples in there. So let's give me some good stuff. Always glad to see more arenas in there. And they're going to have a special contest where you or me or even you listening could be featured in the video game.
Vote Quimby.
So what the deal is, you have to record yourself and tag them and use the hashtag Retromania, I think, doing the Blue Meanie dance. He's going to decide, and then Blue Meanie is going to decide the 10 finalists, and the people are going to vote who they want to win. And if the winner gets put in the front row of the Blue World Order Arena.
T-Dub, we don't have a chance in hell. I don't have a dancing bone in my body anymore. And do you have a Blue Meanie dancing bone in your body?
Yeah, of course I do. I can dance. I can dance. Yeah, I can dance.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. You can dance if you want to. You can leave us friends behind.
Because our friends won't dance, and if they won't dance, they are no friends of mine. You can dance.
Dance.
And that is all the news I have. So I suppose now it's time to go to Las Vegas.
Sam's Town, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, Bound for Glory, coming up tomorrow. Matter of fact, you could watch your Rampage. You could watch your Rampage tonight. You could watch your Dynamite tomorrow. And after Dynamite tomorrow, if you pay yourself a couple of dollars over at the Fight app, you got yourself some Bound for Glory action. They start with the pre-show that will be on their YouTube preview show. And it's John Schuyler, Crazy Steve, Falaba, Jordan Grace, Chelsea Green, and Madison Rain. It's Intergender 6-pack challenge, essentially, for the inaugural Impact Digital Media Championship.
Which is going to be their internet title that can only be defended either on YouTube or on their app, their streaming app service. and it's going to be an intergender title, as you guys can see there.
Yeah. I'm all for it. There's been some shame. Why the digital media? Why not the internet? Look, belt. We've seen worse belt designs out of Impact. I'd say lay it off. Lay off.
Nevertheless, this should be a one hell of a match.
Card will open with a 3-way tag team match, as we've obviously guessed with the way things were set up. Good Bros defend the tag titles against Finn Juice and Bullet Club's Chris Bay and Hikuleo.
I think that between these three teams, I think Bullet Club might pick up the victory.
I think Biz Cliz might have some belts coming their way. I would bet so as well. Heath and an opponent and a tag team partner to be announced, though the buildup is Rhino. The idea is maybe it's Rhino, maybe it's not Rhino. Taking on Violent by Design in a regular old tag team match. It will either be Eric Young Diener or Joe Doring. So obviously the buildup is Rhino's going to show up, spear the fuck out of somebody, and feel good win for Heath and Rhino. But we'll see.
Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's the hope. This is going to be fun. Tag match. Knockouts tag team titles. Decay, Havoc, and Rosemary taking on the Inspiration, that is spelt with 2 I's, because the former Iconics, now known as Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay, making their debuts.
And we saw in Impact this week that they have a new manager, Barrister R.D. Evans.
Good to see March and Archie back on TV again.
Yeah, doing his old Ring of Honor gimmick.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Great manager. Underrated for obvious reasons. Trey Miguel versus Steve Macklin versus El Fantasmo. These are the 3 men who will compete for the Impact X Division Championship.
Steve Macklin is such a forgotten son that he doesn't even have his own Wikipedia page.
He doesn't.
It's weird. Like, Daniel, everyone else on this card does, but he does not.
And he's been wrestling for Impact for at least 6 months.
No, I'd say about 2 or 3.
Feels like it's been longer.
Feels like so, but yeah, but it's still kind of interesting. Like, all these people who are nowhere near as well known as him because he was never on WWE television, because they were never given the WWE television that he was, but yet he does not have a page. Nevertheless, I'm going to pick either Steve Macklin or Trey Miguel to get the victory and get the belt.
It's not going to be all Phantasmo, you think. If Biz Gliz don't get a sweep?
I don't quite think so, unfortunately.
Who knows? Who knows? That's why we have the match. The Call Your Shot Gauntlet. There are 15 competitors to be announced, so there's going to be some surprises involved. But it does involve Rich Swann, Brian Myers, Moose, W. Morrissey, and Chris Sabin. There are 50 more competitors to be announced. Basically, the winner gets a shot, gets a trophy and a contract that can vote anytime with 1 year for a championship match of their choosing.
So it's essentially a gauntlet match to win a Money in the Bank style contract.
But you can call for anything. Could be the tag belt, could be the X Division belt, could be the world belt. It is up to you.
And W. Morrissey will enter last at number 20.
And I believe he won the match to determine that. I believe that was the case.
Yes, he did.
Everything else, your guess is as good as ours.
The only thing we do know is that it is being reported that Braun Strongman might be showing up sometime. Or
yeah, I don't know what the actual name he's picking up yet, but Braun Strowman, Adam Scherr, real name, will be. The rumor is he will be involved in some way, shape, or form. I believe Principal Scott D'Amore, as we like to call him. He's been in talks with Braun, so we'll see. We'll see. Nothing's been reported yet as far as the signing, but there we go.
It should also be known that Suzuki is bound for glory, or at least Impact bound, so maybe he shows up in the match.
The more, that would be probably the best way to debut him. Should have him show up at Bound for Glory in this match. He is scheduled for the Bound for Glory tapings at Sam's Town in Las Vegas, so he will be on Impact in some way, shape, or form. We just don't know when and where at that point. All right, I just give me a second. I just got notification to set up to watch Rampage on the
Yep, the intro's
TSN
going
app.
right now.
Should be starting close to it now. Might have a little bit of delay on my end, but I have it on my setup I discussed on my phone.
Pyro, pew 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 pew.
Well, that happens, and I'll be obviously behind, but I'll be able to see it legally. Deanna Purrazzo defends the Impact Knockouts Championship, taking on Mickie James. Matthew Ray Walt will be banned from ringside because he tried to fuck things up, and the Moore said, nah, either you leave or you're both gone.
Yee, like that. And they did a great job of really building up this feud to make it feel personal. Like, goddamn, they really amped up the fire here.
Mm-hmm. And in the main event of the evening, Christian Cage defends the Impact Heavyweight Championship of the World, taking on Josh Alexander in his Option C World Title match.
This is Josh Alexander's match to win.
Basically, I think you and I both agree this is Josh Alexander's match. This is...
They even aired like a 10 to 15 minute video package on Impact to hype up this match, centered all around Josh Alexander's journey from young child to indie debut to indie superstar to Impact, in that entire journey, that entire career journey. It would feel like a massive disappointment if Alexander loses this match.
So basically, it would feel like Booker T at WrestleMania 19.
Yes, it would.
It would.
Just Christian Cage has done a great job of being like that veteran heel that thinks he's just the best because he's been everywhere. He's won championships everywhere. He's the guy.
And the
he's
crazy
the man.
part is, they haven't played him up as a heel, really. He's just showing up, and he's working naturally at that point.
Yeah,
The fact that you cheer or boo him is left ambiguous, which I like that.
Yeah, but to me it just feels like just the way he cuts his promos, just that you can feel a little bit of arrogance on him where he thinks he's hot, where he really thinks he's hot shit. And
the intention is to have him work heel, and he more than likely will work heel to mask it, and they'll mask it as veneronosity.
Oh yeah, and
it's finally popped up. There we go. I got it on the thing now. Yay!
I got OC and Hobbs on the ring. What about you? What's on your screen?
I just got the intro going.
Oh,
there's still a little bit of delay, and it's on the phone. I believe on the browser version, there's a little bit more head, but I'm not complaining here.
All right. I will.
There's a delay, but I could see stuff, and there's pyro.
At least
so
got that.
There's that.
Anyways, that is going to be Bound for Glory. Should be one hell of a card.
Yeah, Fight TV app on the internet or on your iPhone or your Google Play or your Apple Play, whatever you play.
Your local pay-per-view provider, whichever you prefer, really.
Worth a shot, if you ask me. All right, let's do winners and losers there, Mr. TWK.
I'm going to have my losers to WWE for the Queen's Crown Tournament. Just what could have been amazing, they decided just to absolutely phone in. Just completely and utterly phone in.
Totally. Losers, WWE for that exact reason. Queen's Crown. And Booker T. Foot and mouth.
He's had one hell of a week, hasn't he?
Oh my God. He starts by saying Tony Khan should shut the fuck up and stay in his goddamn lane when really...
His words were, stop talking and just put on good shows, which TK has been putting on almost nothing but good shows, really.
As a great poet Kid Rock would say, it ain't bragging, motherfucker, if you back it up. And he's been backing it up on an almost weekly basis.
Also, I love the fact that Ruby Soho versus Allie got the same amount of 18 to 49 as...
They fucking tied for that segment.
Yeah, they tied with Roman and Brock contract signing.
So here's the thing. Here's what I'm doing. I acknowledge you as my tribal chief, Ruby Soho.
Acknowledge Ruby and the Bunny. Acknowledge Ruby and the Bunny.
You will acknowledge and be exterminated.
Oh yeah, JC brings up the guy in charge of XCW as his loser. Yeah, that guy. Fuck him. Fuck Rob Black. That piece of fucking shit.
Oh, I knew he was an asshole. I'm just looking at, folks, I have not seen the XPW episode of Dark Side of the Ring. The plan is to watch Rampage, then go downstairs, make my myself some popcorn, and just watch Dark Side of the Ring describe how much of a shit show XPW was. They had a show for XPW TV. I have DVDs for both seasons. The first one was a bunch of wrestling. The second one was skits. And cringe. Just cringe.
Yeah, like I could just tell looking at the clips, like, and when you watch it, it's like, this isn't even good deathmatch wrestling. If you want good deathmatch wrestling from the early 2000s, you go watch some Combat Zone Wrestling, good sir.
Oh, absolutely. And I will say this. In fairness, XPW's Baptized by Blood was their best show. That's it. That was it. The commentary is shit, but the deathmatch was okay. And it had one of Shane Douglas's most infamous shoot promos. And that's about it.
Review that show.
What?
Can we get Brian Zane to review that show? Brian Zane, can you hear us? Review the show.
Baptized by Blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
First classic pay-per-view reviews.
I have the DVD of that, by the way. I you know what's crazy? I rented the VHS of that show. And my jackass, Tony Hawk's Underground, Loving Mine, loved it.
And JC points out, it's telling that New Jack legitimately trying to kill a man is not the most shocking thing on the episode. No, it is not. That's
the well-traveled ground. The crazy part is, for those who have not seen Dark Side of the Ring, T-Dub and I both know, New Jack trying to kill Vic Grimes, tip of the iceberg for XPW.
Oh yeah,
and some of you still think we're kidding. The rest of you watched the Dark Side of the episode? No, that's the truth. And I have not watched it yet. Even I know that's just tip of the iceberg.
Prepare yourself, Matty. You're not kidding. There are things happen that might even surprise you.
This is Dark Side of the Ring. I know there are shows that it's well traveled, but it underlines it, and then you go, boy. I will not be surprised if I'm surprised. Let's put it that way. That's why I'm getting my popcorn. I know some of the stories. I know I will be shocked, but I'm like, okay, how much of a shit? Like, I know it's a shit show. Part of me is curious how much of a shit show it was. And from the reviews and what some of you are saying in the chat and what you are saying, T-Dub, oh God, the rabbit hole is deep. He's deep.
Is it time for winners?
I believe it is time for winners, yes.
I'll give Impact winner for their excellent build to their main event for Bound for Glory. One of the best builds they've done in a long time. I am hyped.
So Will Hobbs is beating the crap out of Orange Cassidy right now.
Yep, that he is.
And Matt Hardy is pretty much orgasmic over that beatdown.
Yes, this beatdown of Orange Cassidy is simply orgasmic.
Right, he probably is wearing a jock strap, so he's not yanked off the air, or he probably told the camera, it's like,
above the waist,
above the waist, please, above the waist. We don't want to get that. I might have a raging chub. But yeah, more winners, please.
I'm going to give Will Hobbs a winner right now for the movies utilizing, which you will see in a couple of minutes. That'll make you mark out.
I got on my little screen here, and we'll see it. I got picture-in-picture right now, so
a couple of minutes after the picture-in-picture break is over.
More than likely. So yeah, JC's giving a winner to Ruby Soho, also Kazuchi Okada, for trying to get the old heavyweight title brought back.
Yeah, he's made comments backstage, so he wants that belt back. Because that's the good belt. That's the uncursed belt.
Folks, when even Okada's going, okay, that belt's cursed, give me the other belt back.
I guess that when he wins the world, if he wins the world title, Wrestle Kingdom, he's be like, you know the people that help with the belt, Kota Ibushi, Shingo Takagi, Will Ospreay, and they can all kiss my ass.
Of course, it would be in Japanese, but yeah, there's that. My winners, Simple put, Katsuyori Shibata. For all of the obvious reasons. WWE, look, even mediocre is higher than what they've presenting for the last few years. Also, is that a stretch muffler? Oh, no, wait, that's over the thing, but it's a beautiful submission.
Wait for it just a couple more minutes, and JC said he wants to defend the old belt instead of the G1 contract. Either way, he wants the old belt back. It's the uncursed belt.
Oh. Gato might have a genius idea. Instead of the briefcase, it's the old IWGP belt. And the stip is, who wins, it's the belt we're repping. It'll be a waste of money for the new belt, but hey, everyone gets the new belt, the old belt. It's recognized as the heavyweight championship, world heavyweight championship. I'm not opposed. So yeah, WWE, they had, look, they've had a shit year from a creative side, from a creative in-ring side. The fact that they had a halfway decent Hell in a Cell, Goldberg not killing anybody or attempted murder, a decent main event. I'm not saying there was life-changing, and I'm not saying you should seek it out, that you should seek it. I'm just saying, look, oh, is that a torture rack?
Oh, yeah.
Damn,
that gets Will Hobbs a winner for me.
Torture rack? A good fucking idea.
Ow!
Ouch!
Oh, a new OSW Sunday. Can't wait. And it's on my birthday! New OSW on my birthday!
Happy birthday, by the way. All hail King Xavier for a winner, because, hey, regardless of the location of the venue or whatever, regardless of the circumstances, Xavier Woods wanted to be a king of the ring, and for one night and for 1 year, he will be that. Thumbs the fuck up. All Elite Wrestling for obvious reasons, and Ruby Soho and the Bunny for being the true tribal chiefs.
Hey, look, AEW is showing footage of the Super Ranas.
God, no, fuck you, no. It's FTR.
Put it over, Matty. Put it over.
It's FTR. They're not. It's FTR. It's FTR. Plug away. We're at the point we need to plug anyways.
All right, let me get my links ready. First up, I got a new podcast coming out on my birthday. Let me just get the link for that ready.
Go ahead. Put that in the chat while you do that. And I believe this is part of the show where for those who are not regulars of RVT, may not have, but T-Dub said it's his birthday, and I just realized I am morally and almost legally obliged to hit this particular button.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Omedetou! Subarashi!
Arigato!
Shades would kill me if I didn't do it.
Yes. So yeah, there's a new podcast coming out Sunday about horror or Halloween-themed video games. And then on Monday, as you can see on my YouTube channel, right there, set to premiere this Monday at noon, my review of Yakuza 6.
And if you want to see it a little early, patreon.com/GWKReviews. And all that good stuff. And, of course, Shintigercurl's YouTube show. YouTube,
Max Acorn.
Max Acorn. YouTube.com/MaxAcorn. We can follow us on Twitter at MattyG316, at TWKOfficial, and at Shintigercurl. I am on TikTok at MattyJWC. And, there's I see that there. I see why you're acknowledging FTR. There's Penta El Zero Miedo and Alex Abrahantes. And where's Ray?
I don't know where Phoenix is. I couldn't hear the commentary. Too busy trying to do 1,000 things at once here.
Hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
That's the downside of podcasting while also trying to watch a show is that you can't give the show your full attention.
Which is why, like, this is why I want to move up the show, because at the very least, I want to be able to enjoy both. But I'm glad I have the setup where I can actually have one of my old phones and have the TSN app. I'm like, yee. Legal streaming, ladies and gentlemen. Without the I, it works. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much it. TWK's Patreon I already plugged. There's my tip jar, paypal.me/manj316. I'm not going to bother with the rest of it. I'm just going to say thank you very much for coming in and saying hi. And we're going to wrap the show up. And who's that guy with the rate of... that's a setup. Okay, I see. FTR. It's FTR versus Lucha Brothers. That's a feud I could sign up for. Old School versus the Flips. Yay. All right, let's wrap this up.
Yes, sign us out, Matty.
We may as well wrap it up. We thank you very much for tuning in and saying hello. We much appreciate your being a part of our shenanigans for the show and all that stuff. On behalf of TWK,
a cold wind blows as the angels cry. The living will descend and the dead will rise from way below, way below, way below.
And if you're getting greedy, they want the AEW tag belts. Oh, there's Pac. There we go. All right. My name's Matty Jabber, reminding you to help professional wrestling support chain promotion as soon as possible. C4's got a show in November. It is technically sold out, but I believe the VOD will be available as soon as possible. Have a good one. Have a safe one. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy the weekend of professional wrestling. Really. It sounds like a banger to me. Have a good one. Have a safe one. We'll talk to you next week, folks. Bye, 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 bye.
Oh!